Welcome to the Perfect Podcast Show. I'm in good spirits today. Thank you for tuning in, watching, clicking, whatever it is. Thanks for watching today. We're not done. We're just getting started at the Perfect Podcast Show on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. I'm your host, Keith. And today's a special episode. You're going to follow me with a little to-do list, a little task that I have to do. I think that would make an interesting podcast. Maybe, change it up. Do some tasks on the episode instead of having a scheduled guest on, and maybe that would make it a perfect episode. If one thing doesn't work, if you're walking and there's a metaphor here about things getting in the way and doing something different, and that's what I'm going to try to do today. Because I really want to have a perfect episode, and I don't really want as much as I need, because if I have a perfect episode, I'll be able to get out of here. I am locked in a dungeon. And the agreement was, hey, you think you can make a perfect episode? Go ahead and do it. And if you can't, we're going to lock you in this dungeon until you do. And here I am locked in this dungeon because I thought it'd be easy, but it's not. It's actually very hard to make a perfect podcast episode. And if you think you can make a perfect podcast episode and you have some tips or advice, go ahead and call us. There's a real phone number for incoming calls only. I've tried to make outgoing ones. It does not work. But you can call in and give me some tips or advice or just thoughts on recent episodes or what you'd like to see in a future episode, and hopefully help me make the perfect podcast episode show. So let's listen to one of those calls now. Hi there. Thanks for calling the Perfect Podcast Show. Leave your message and we'll play it on the air. How was that? Does that work?
What up, it's your boy, the Pack Shocker. Just wanted to call in and say that the Perfect Podcast Show is the best podcast on the West Coast, still every coast. If we being real, love the shit you're doing over there. And if you ever need some tracks for the show, hit me up. But actually don't, because I'm not alive anymore. I forgot.
Okay, thanks for the call. Thank you. It's nice. It's nice that people are calling in. It's nice that people are calling in. It is not nice that they're not really giving me any advice. That's not very helpful because I'm here and I'm trapped in this dungeon, which looks nice from your view, but from my view over there's just chains and other things to keep me stuck in this dungeon where I get one bowl of rice every day. And it's not even good rice. It's white rice that was overcooked. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So I'm trying to do a perfect episode so I don't have to have that. And to run a podcast and to keep a dungeon, I guess, up to code. Is it even up to code? Sometimes they can hear me through the walls. My keepers can hear me through the walls and will answer back, but they don't. They usually don't. But maybe they will. Maybe I can ask them next time they give me that rice. Anyways, you got to pay the bills, and to do that, we have ads. So here's one of those ads. One of our sponsors is... Hey, do you like seafood? I like seafood, and if you like seafood the way I like seafood, then you should come on down to Greg's Seafood Center. We're located right here at Smith County, Kansas, and we are the geographic center of the United States, which means we have the centermost seafood center in the United States, and I'm talking seafood. When I say seafood, I mean seafood. This is why we are the seafood center. We got lobster, we got clams, we got mussels, we got oysters, we got fish, and we got other seafood too. We are the geographic center of the United States at the Seafood Center in Smith County, Kansas. So our seafood is not fresh. The closest ocean is days away. It's impossible for us to get fresh seafood at Seafood Center. But if you like seafood the way I like seafood, it doesn't matter to you. It's okay that it's a few days old. It's okay that the truck that brought it here all the way to Smith County, Kansas, doesn't have AC. What matters is it's seafood. I'm talking shrimp, I'm talking crab, I'm talking scallops, I'm talking crawfish, squid, octopus. We got it. It's seafood. It's not fresh, but it is available at the Seafood Center in the very center of the United States, right here in Smith County, Kansas. So come get seafood, and if you get sick, don't say I didn't warn you. All right, Okay. There's an ad. Great. We did an ad. We helped pay for this space. We helped pay for this dungeon. It feels like if there's more ads, maybe I should have a little more luxury than just chains on the wall. Maybe this couch behind me, I actually get to lay on and sleep there instead of a cold concrete floor. What do you think of that? No response still. Okay, well, here we are for the perfect podcast show. We did the calls. We did the ads. Today's episode is a little something different. So I have been running this podcast legally. I do not have a license to host a podcast. You have to have a license. And, I thought that would be maybe something part of this agreement of like, oh, I'm going to host a podcast. Great. Then all the paperwork would be done for me as I try to do the perfect podcast. But no, I have to do it myself. So they're letting me out of the podcast today. And by letting me out, I mean only virtually because I can't go anywhere. So virtually, we are going to go and do a little visit to the local DMV so I can get my podcast license. I don't know why the DMV gives podcast license, but I guess they give licenses for everything. So we're gonna go to the DMV so I can get my podcast license. Let's go! Yes, hi. Do you work here?
Yeah. Welcome to the Department of Motor Vehicles. How may I help you?
Yeah, I'm not. You work here though, because you're not at a desk or anything. You're just.
Do you not see? Look. Right above me, 17, 18. Do you have an appointment?
I do not have an appointment. Do I?
So we're gonna wait in line like everybody else, and I'll be with you in about 4 hours.
Okay, can I make an appointment now?
By the way, yes, I work here because you're talking to me. I'm obviously here at the Department of Motor Vehicles with all these people busting and huffing and bustling. See, 17, 18, I thought I'd come out here. I'm a man of the people. I am the DMV.
Okay, you're huffing? Is that what you said? You're huffing?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but can I make
have you ever been in an automobile?
In a car?
They run on a vehicle. Yes, they run on gasoline. Well, they used to run on gasoline, all of them. And so basically, if you're huffing gasoline for a time.
Well, I'm definitely not here for that. I'm here to get my podcast license because I haven't been operating my podcast without a podcast license. But I can make an appointment on my phone and then.
Wait, you've been operating your podcast without a license?
Yeah, I just thought I'd come clean and just say that. But is that okay?
Do you have an SR22?
Is that a
State report 22?
Is that a form or is that like a type of podcast?
That is a form. That is a form that you need in order to have the fine for operating a vehicle without a license.
There's a fine for it? Thank you.
Pay to play, buddy.
Okay.
Pay to play.
I got a bunch of papers. Thank you for helping me right now, even though I don't have an appointment.
I thought I'd come out here amongst the people, get huffing and puffing, get the ins and outs. I feel it gets boring back there.
Yeah, I bet you're sitting around all day. You don't even have your own cubicle. What do you even do back there? Is there a bathroom for you?
Huh?
Are you okay?
Yeah, the bathroom.
Oh, there is. Okay, that's.
I didn't know we were going to. Yeah. It's a government building, so I can't really give you too much information.
Yeah, it's just the DMV though. I don't have the form, but I can get it on my phone. For the appointment, and then.
Well, let's just get you licensed up. Have you taken your test?
There's a test for. I have not. I didn't know. I didn't know.
There is a paper test, and then there is a driver's test. So in order to get this going, we're gonna have to start off with the paper test. If you pass the paper test with an 80% or above, we can move on to the driving test.
Okay. I didn't know. So is that good enough an excuse to just skip the test? I didn't know.
I'm out here.
Okay, you're huffing and you're puffing amongst the people. Yeah, if you could just, if we could do the test right now, I'll jump in. I haven't studied because, I didn't know. I didn't know I needed any of this. I just heard recently that you have to get a license for a podcast.
Yeah. You need a license to fly a drone from the FDA. You need a license for everything. It's policy, right? It's policy. It's bureaucracy. Be proud of yourself. Let's start off with your name.
Oh, okay. It's weird that like I had to go to the DMV, which I think is Department of Motor Vehicles, but now for a podcast, I'm in the right place, right? This is like I don't have to go to like Department of like podcast shows or something.
A silly thing, sir. I don't believe that. Like that's like why would we have an office for that? Like we do the licensing for all the vehicles in the state of California. So licensing for a podcast, it's right there. It's the same process.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought like, oh, I need a license, so I go to the DMV. I didn't even think. Okay, so my name, yes, is Keith.
TH.
Oh, yeah, it's Keith, and last name is SALTOJANES.
Johannes.
SALTOJANES.
Oh.
It's really loud in here. It's hard to hear you. But yeah, I think you said it right. Yeah.
SALTOES.
Yeah, there's like it's so loud. I think you said it right though. Yeah, it's like there's a
lot of bustle. Yeah.
There's a lot of huffing and puffing.
What's your height, Mr. SALTOJANES?
Why do we need that for a podcast?
Because I'm going to issue you a California driver's license. Federal limits do apply, and unless do you have a passport?
I do, but I'm not driving.
Would you like to have your podcasting license cleared?
Clear.
You can do TSA pre-check.
Oh, I'm not flying. This is just for the podcast. That's all I need is a podcast license. I don't need pre-check or
license. Your name, I need your address, I need your date of birth, I need your height, your weight.
Okay.
Hair color brown.
Here I have
color brown.
I have a form that I filled all that out on. Do you want that form?
Scan
it. Yeah, we can scan it here. Does that work?
Well, this is a government building. I can't just let you back there.
No, if you go back there, are you allowed behind the desk?
I am in the front for a reason, sir.
Oh, you
yes.
Can't.
So
wait a second. You what happened that you can't go back there?
Building.
Yeah, it's
So here's the thing: the DMV can be a stressful place. Let me break it down to you.
Okay.
People come in, they're on edge. They don't have an appointment. All you have to do is go online. You make your appointment. You're there, right? You can enter your information online if you had the appointment. You have all these papers, but you printed them out. So I see that. I see that, Mr. SALTOJANES. However, you could have just entered that digitally, come in with an appointment. We could have been complete with 95% of this. You could have taken your test, then scheduled a time for your driver's test, and then I could give you a paper license, and then come 6 to 12 weeks we could get you a nice license with your picture, and you would be ready to operate a motor vehicle in the state of California or a podcast.
It's just podcasts. I don't need motor vehicle. Do you have a driver's license? Oh, I do have a driver's license. Is
it up to date?
Between you and me, I have been operating a podcast and a motor vehicle without a license. It has been expired for 5 years, but
This will not stand.
I don't want to change the picture.
Fines. There are fines. No, do you have a beard in the other picture?
I do not have a beard, so it's
like you can't come around looking like some kind of black Bart coming in on your horse and pony, trying to come into town, be a real tough guy, and just like having your way with the local people of this small department of motor vehicles. you know, we need to be able to find you, Mr. SALTOJANES. Do you stay in the same residence that you did when you had that license?
I mean, you have a beard too, but yeah, I moved around, but like the picture's the same and like the address is different, but I have all the paperwork. If we could just get my just podcast license and I can come back another day for the driver's stuff.
This seems like something's up. This is the Department of Motor Vehicles. I don't think it's going to play to have a podcast license without the driver's license. You understand that, like, they go hand and foot, right?
Yeah, I think it's hand in hand, like you were doing, but that makes sense. So maybe I'll just go back and I'll do like an appointment online and then do the paperwork and just not mention about my driver's license being expired or anything, and just focus on the podcast.
Mr. SALTOJANES, I think that'll wash. So I will see you. Like, you want to text? Maybe get a coffee
with you. I mean, will it expedite the process if we were like
probably not?
Oh, I mean, we can if we want. That seems, again, you work here, right? Because you said you can't go back there. I'm just making sure that you are.
It's working. A government building.
Okay.
Government building.
So yeah, I mean that's yeah. I have a podcast to meet new people, so yeah, why not? That's we can chat over coffee, and then maybe you can tell me if all of my paperwork is correct before I come back for the next appointment. Would that suffice? Okay, great.
You know what? You know what? Just between you and me, something about you that I like. Just Keith SALTOJANES. Keith.
What are you writing?
SALTOJANES. DMV CA. You know that they have DMVs in other states. It's not just a California thing.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. I've only lived in California.
Oh, okay.
I went to Oklahoma and I saw the DMV. I was like, oh.
Wow. All right. Well, thanks.
They were not as friendly. They did not let me stay in the lobby.
Okay.
Let's see here. Federal limits apply.
Okay. Well, thanks for this. Yeah. I mean, I'll go home. It seems like today is a wash, so I'll just go home and I can do all the other stuff, and then we can get a coffee, and then I can come back. Does that sound?
Podcast racer.
Does that
license? So
not a racing, just podcast. So
have you ever seen the movie License to Drive? That's actually what made me want to work at the DMV.
I have not, but maybe over
Corey Haim.
Oh yeah, maybe over coffee we can, because I got a lot of other stuff to do. So I'll go home and make that appointment, and then. But thanks for your help today. Even though I didn't have an appointment today, I appreciate it.
Let me put my number here for you.
Okay, yeah, that's great, and I'll reach out, I promise, and we can get a coffee and just make sure I can get this license. Okay, great. You
want this, Keith?
Yeah, that's great. I got that.
Podcast license.
Podcast license. Okay. Well, thanks for your help today. And yeah, we'll be in touch.
You're approved.
Wait, for the license? Or for coffee?
Congratulations.
Okay, so now we know. If you go to the DMV, make an appointment, you can do 98, 95, 90s, in the 90% of what you need to do online instead of just showing up. It was nice of Ben, the worker, to not have me wait in line to get more of that info. That was helpful. I'm still not sure if he's really a worker, though. I don't know, why was he not behind the desk? Was he a greeter? Was he security? If he's giving me that information, I guess just out there to help, right? He really wants me to meet him for coffee. I don't really know if I am allowed to do that. I am. It'll make maybe a perfect. Okay, great. My handlers who have me trapped in this dungeon are saying that yes, I can go meet him for coffee. Maybe it will make a perfect episode, and then I can get out. Because I would like that too. So maybe we'll do that. We'll go, we'll meet for coffee. Maybe he can give me some tips on how to expedite the process of getting this license, and we'll go from there. But So until then, thank you for watching The Perfect Podcast Show, and we will leave you with this song. Thanks for watching.
Well, gather around, folks, I've got to tell a tale about a podcast host who's trying to do it well. Every Tuesday night they go live with a smile, but perfection's just a mile away from Keith's style. Now the Perfect Podcast Show is what it's called, but let me tell you folks, it's anything but flawless. They stumble on their words, they mess up the sound, but it's all in good fun when Keith's around. They cover all topics from aliens to cats. Keith tries his best, but it ain't quite a match. They aim for perfection, but they fall and they trip, and all the while they're just letting loose and rip.